Welcome back to the channel, my loveliest FreeMelons. I'm Martyr. Thank you so much for joining me here once again on the FreeMelon Society. And today I thought we would have a little fun. So I have never taken a blood glucose reading. One of the most frustrating misconceptions out there, and it's everywhere, and it drives people in the natural diet, natural eating movement crazy, is this idea that whole food carbohydrates or fruit carbohydrates, simple sugars, simple carbohydrates are what give you diabetes and what cause your blood sugar to go and spike like crazy and cause problems. This is not the case. This is not how it works. It is not simple, natural fruit sugars that have anything to do with diabetes. It has much, much, much more to do with fat, the amount of fat that you eat in your diet. So, because I've never taken a blood glucose reading, I decided that it would be a fun thing to do to experiment and see what happens to my, what is it now? Been fruitarian now for about 2.5 years. So I thought it would be fun to buy a blood testing kit and to test my blood after drinking a ridiculous amount of watermelon juice. Supposedly, juice is one of the things that diabetics should steer far, far, far away from. Your blood sugar is going to rise like crazy, and if you do that for, a certain period of time, you're going to get diabetes, because that's the ticket to diabetes. High blood sugar, from fruit. Oh, fruit is the enemy, blah, 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 all this nonsense. So what I'm doing is I'm going to take a meal that supposedly no one should be eating or drinking because there's too much blood sugar. Now, I doubt I'll be able to finish all of this watermelon juice, so if that happens, I'm sorry, you'll have to excuse me. Typically, I can't finish the amount of juice that I've prepared. 3.5 liters. Almost a gallon. 500 milliliters away from a gallon of watermelon juice. I'm going to try to finish that in a sitting as a meal. So again, an absurd amount of sugar in one session, as much as I can drink, and we're gonna measure my blood glucose and see how my body responds. So what I'll do is I'll take one reading of my blood 1 hour after drinking as much watermelon juice as I can handle, and then I'll take another reading at 2 hours after drinking as much watermelon juice as I can handle. Usually a dangerous high-carb meal would entail something like, potatoes and lentils or whatnot. Lots of fiber, so, the sugar digests slowly and under control, but still, that's supposed to be, too much sugar. Now again, bear in mind, I've been eating too much sugar for a very long time now. Again, 2.5 years or so. Eating meals like bananas and dates, straight papaya, straight watermelon, straight cantaloupe, mixtures of different melons. I've had fruit combinations. I've had smoothies, tons of juice. This whole year has been almost exclusively liquids. I've only had a couple of solid meals this year, and so if there was any candidate for diabetes to start to show up in the body under what we conventionally imagine is too much sugar or the causes of diabetes, trust me, it would be me. So we're going to put that to the test. I'm going to take another absurdly high sugar meal of watermelon juice, and we're going to see what way too much watermelon juice does to my blood. What I'm going to attempt to do is I'm going to attempt to drink all of this in a sitting. So now that's going to be a struggle. This is way too much juice for me to drink in one, as one meal. But for the sake of this experiment, I'm going to try to do that. It might take me, an hour, as long as maybe a regular meal might take you to sit and enjoy, right? I don't think I'll be able to get through all of this in 40 minutes. It might take me longer, but I'm going to do what I can and get through most of it. We're going to measure my blood glucose levels 1 hour, and then again at 2 hours after I finish the last of this juice, okay? I'm so full. Oh my god. Oh my god. So I could only get through 2.5 liters of watermelon juice. I cannot put the other entire liter of watermelon juice down now. So, but my stomach is full. My stomach is absolutely full of watermelon juice. So we'll test my blood in about an hour. Hey guys, so there was a bit of a delay in releasing this video. I actually shot everything several weeks ago, but I never shot the conclusion, so I'm doing the conclusion now, but know that I had shot this originally several weeks ahead of time, and so now just wrapping things up. So here we go, here's the video. Okay, so let's wrap up these results. My little meter displays the results in millimoles per liter, but most of the references that you'll find online give these typical ranges and results in milligrams per deciliter. So I converted millimoles per liter into milligrams per deciliter for the sake of simplicity so that you can easily compare these results with one another. So first, let's start off with my resting blood glucose level, okay? My resting blood glucose level was 4.4 millimoles per liter, or 79.27, I believe. Well within the normal range of a normal person, not pre-diabetic. So again, I'll remind you, it's been 2.5 years of very, very high carbohydrate-rich, fruit sugar-rich foods, and I'm still well within normal ranges of a normal person without pre-diabetes. That's my normal resting blood glucose level, okay? If I was in any danger, I wouldn't be in the normal levels to begin with, before this experiment. Okay, now most all blood glucose diabetic tests are designed to be conducted at least 2 hours after your meal, right? Because 1 hour after your meal, the blood sugar goes up, pretty high, and which is normal for everybody. And they don't usually consider that as good a test. What they're looking for is at least 2 hours after you have your meal, is your blood sugar still considerably elevated, all right? And that is the normal marker that they go after. I just did, for the sake of curiosity, 1 hour and 2 hours after this outrageous meal of far too much watermelon juice that my stomach was exploding. Okay. So in 1 hour after drinking all of this watermelon juice, my blood glucose measured at 156.75 milligrams per deciliter. Okay? In order to be considered normal, right, not pre-diabetic or not diabetic, your blood glucose has to be below 200 milligrams per deciliter. So at 1 hour in, I'm well within the ranges of being a normal person with normal blood glucose. Okay? Well within normal range. At 2 hours post-meal, my blood glucose measured in at about 136.93, I believe it was, milligrams per deciliter. Okay, so that's where I was at 2 hours in. Now you can find reference ranges anywhere on the internet. I'll flash some on the screen for you. But what seems to be standard information is if you are anywhere below 140 milligrams per deciliter, you are quite normal 2 hours post-meal. If you are pre-diabetic, you are probably falling in the range of 140 to 199 milligrams per deciliter. So anywhere in that mid-range, all right, of 140 to 199, that indicates pre-diabetes. And if you have diabetes, then you have to have blood glucose of 200 milligrams per deciliter or more 2 hours after your meal. So in terms of diabetes, I'm nowhere even close to that, so it's not even worth going there. But even with pre-diabetes, I am not in that range either. I am still in the normal range of blood glucose 2 hours after the meal, even after the outrageously sugar-rich meal of watermelon juice with no fiber to slow down the sugar absorption. Like, we're talking straight blood glucose elevating juice, straight juice. So I tried to take the worst of the worst, all right, and take it to the extreme and see if, I entered that pre-diabetic and diabetic range, and my body still did not go there, okay? I've been doing this for 2.5 years now, and even before I was fruitarian, I was vegan for 7 years, and all my meals were huge carbohydrate meals. Heavy quinoa, heavy lentils, heavy potatoes, very light on the protein and no meats and all that kind of stuff. So not very much fat, like all carbs, all sugars. So, I've been doing these diabetic meals for a long time. So, yeah, what can I say, guys? Right? This is a myth. It is not natural fruit sugars that give you diabetes. Come on. What could be further from the truth? Every single anthropoid ape out there, or anyone in the monkey family, would be running around with diabetes if fruit sugar was what gave you diabetes. Think about it. These beings live on primarily fruit, 90% fruit, right? If they were given an abundance of fruit in nature so that they didn't have to do any like survival techniques or tactics or whatnot, or ran into periods of scant food availability where they didn't have to rely on, vegetables and maybe the odd termites here and there, give them an abundant supply of fruit and they'd be eating 100% fruit all the time. No vegetables or whatnot. They're all fine. None of them have diabetes. None of the fruit eaters in nature have diabetes. It gets so tiring hearing people categorize fruit and natural sugars under the umbrella term of, don't eat sugar. Yeah, don't eat processed sugar. Processed sugar. Okay, there's a huge difference between natural sugar and processed, man-made, artificial, immune system destroying, cell destroying, processed white sugar. There's a massive gulf, a rift of difference in health between the two. So we cannot just keep identifying fruits and simple carbohydrates with processed sugar. It's such a mistake, and it leads us down this road where we think that natural fruits are something to be avoided. It's nonsense. Absolute nonsense. Okay? Do not be afraid of fruit. You can eat fruit and you are not going to get diabetes. You're not going to get pre-diabetes. You're not going to get sick. What you are going to get is healthier. And what you are going to get is you're going to get an eliminating effect, a cleansing effect, a nourishing effect. The problems come when you start mixing your fruits with other nonsense foods. So let's say you have a heavy dairy or meat meal or something, or a heavy complex carb meal, and then you have fruit afterwards. Or you're mixing fruits in with other types of foods. That can be a problem because fruit sugars will start to ferment most other types of foods, and they don't mix well together. So fruits are eaten by themselves. So then now you're getting into food combining principles, okay? So that's a different thing. But fruits on their own, these things are not even close deleterious on your system. They're exactly what your body needs. Okay? So there you have it, guys. I gorged on more watermelon juice that I could possibly handle in a sitting, filled my belly up to the absolute max with the most blood sugar elevating juice that I could think of, and my blood sugar was fine. Okay? My resting blood glucose should be probably pretty elevated, but it's not. It's totally normal. Everything is normal. Everything is fine in terms of my diabetes risk. I hope this was informative. I hope this put some of you at ease out there who have been weary about this, fruit causing harm somehow. It's utter nonsense. You can put that aside. Now, I'm in the middle of an extended water fast right now, so I can't, I'm not eating. But if in the future you want me to do another test with some other kind of fruit, if you want to see me eat some, a lot of bananas or something and see how that affects my blood sugar, if you guys are curious, just let me know and I can do that for you. For now, guys, don't be scared of fruit, please. When I see comments and people cautioning me about diabetes risk, it's, let's just say you start conjuring up ideas of what a spin kick to the face would look like to that person. I love you guys very much. Thank you so much for watching. Thank you for all the support. Thank you. I have to say this, 'cause I've said it once or twice, but the support that you guys give me on this channel, it really, it is, and was unexpected. I've said it before, but I expected way more hate and way more vicious attacks from the health community when I started this channel. So, and obviously, there are people out there that do that, but there's an awakening going on, and I see that, and there's so many properly health-oriented individuals that have been attracted to this channel and are attracted to health and wellness and true spirituality and true morality, and how those two intertwine together and how they mesh and harmonize. And man, it's such a pleasure, it's such a joy to see people around you getting healthier and getting more conscious about their progression and their development. So I really want to thank you guys, for joining me in this group, for taking part in this secret classroom lectures and learning together and growing together. It's such a joy. So thank you very much for being you and for subscribing to this channel and taking part in these talks. You guys are amazing. For those of you who are new, make sure to subscribe to this channel. There's so much good content that we've got coming in the future. Share this with friends, share this with people who need this information, and together we will grow, learn, and evolve as one. Thank you so much, guys. We'll see you next time here on the Secret Classroom on the FreeMelon Society.